This is Radar, Father Renner Table, coming at you with another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations, number 187. So first movie I watched was called Triangle of Sadness, and I'm going to tell you this, there's no need for this movie to be 2 hours and 27 minutes, where the movie is confusing, very immature and stupid. Woody Harrelson is very dumb and stupid in this movie, don't recognize anyone, has to deal with a male model, then it does a cruise ship, then it's surviving on an island. It was just a waste of time, made absolutely no sense whatsoever. I don't understand how the library has this special Criterion Collection one, because it's just literally so bad. But they're like, yeah, look at this. We got a little insert inside. No, this movie is just terribly put together. I don't know why it was made. Then I watched a really good movie called A Good Person. And Morgan Freeman, I don't know if he's 85, 89, or 90 years old, but playing a retired cop grandfather, he was great. Florence Pugh was pretty good in this movie. I could tell from the beginning throughout the movie, some of the music was her singing and some could be original. Her ex-boyfriend, Zach Braff, made the movie, and I'm a huge fan of him as an actor. I don't really know about his movie making as well, but this movie also had other people that I've seen before, like Molly Shannon played her mother. And again, it is a 2 hour and 8 minute movie, but it isn't boring, and it isn't horribly written, and Morgan Freeman delivered a pretty good job. So the premise of this movie is, this girl has this bright future. We don't know what it is, like what she does for a living, what's going on, but she looks at her phone to Google Maps, and she causes a car accident with this truck doing construction, and of course, tragedy happens, and her whole life gets upended because of the accident. Addicted to pills, all this other stuff. And there's the consequences of this young woman who's engaged with her future family, what's going on. Morgan Freeman's part of that potential family that could have been her future, her father-in-law, whatever the case is. It's a very emotional, raw movie, and it was very interesting. And hey, they sang a monkey song. I thought that was pretty cool to have a monkey song in the movie, but I liked it. I really don't want to spoil things, but again, I really enjoyed it. Then I watched Women Talking, and again, no need for this movie to be that long, but at least it wasn't 2 hours and 20-something minutes. This was an hour and 40-something minutes. It was about a group of women, not Mormon, but, the other type of thing where, not Amish, but there's other type of people where they're in this community, and supposedly the men, some of them rapists or whatever, and they're debating when they come back, do they stay, do they fight, or do they leave? And it took them almost an hour plus into the movie to decide to leave, and then they eventually leave. And okay, you're cool. There's a lot of talking. Rooney Mara's been in a lot of movies. Claire Foy's been in movies. Jesse Buckley. Ben Whishaw was the only dude who was there, and he was teaching the little boy. Frances McDormand, she's one of the elder statesmen in the movie. And it was just a very boring movie. Nothing really happened. And again, some person drove by the community, and they were playing a monkey song. So it was 2 days in a row I watched a movie with a monkey song, and that's the only thing I get out of this movie, because this movie was just so slowly paced and so boring that I'm just not really interested. Then I watched Moving On, and it's a comedy, but it's a little dark comedy, a little bit trying to get revenge and murder and all this other stuff. But basically, Jane Fonda, who in the Brady for Brady, that was more of a really uplifting comedy, and it was a lot more silly, goes to a funeral of a friend of hers, of her best friend, and supposedly she hates Malcolm McDowell, and she reunites with her former friend, Lily Tomlin. They're estranged. Her first love of her life, Richard Roundtree, rest in peace to him. It was nice to see him, and she is trying to make peace with the past. That's what it said, and treasure the value of a good friend. But she also wants to get the revenge she's been wanting to do her whole entire life for her friend, who now has moved on to the beyond, and she's only at the funeral, and she wants to get revenge on Malcolm McDowell, and she recruits Lily Tomlin to help her out. She lives in a nursing home, all this other stuff. Interesting buddy cop friendship relation thing. The whole Richard Roundtree trying to romance her because he lived his life and stuff. And again, barely 81 minutes. It's probably an hour and it's probably 75, 76 minutes. Not too long. Got a little dark, a little bit, brutal, but it was really funny. It was what type of movie you watch. It doesn't take too much time out of your life. It's very short. It's quick to the point. And you laugh a lot of the way. Sometimes you don't laugh, but it was pretty clever. Then I watched Evil Dead Rise. Apparently, it's from the or the original like classics of Evil Dead Rise franchise, and this is like a new one, and they're making a second one. But again, like a lot of horror film, they like to stick in the 80 to 90 minute range. When it's longer than that, that's when you lose my interest. But it's very creepy, very weird. Like the women in the movie, I thought I'd seen them before, but again, the typing on here is so weird. The premise is the son finds a book and it coins and it tells the story, and everyone either dies or gets possessed by the bad guy. The beginning of the movie was confusing because it didn't get explained till the last parts of the movie. I don't know. There were neighbors in there and stuff. I don't know. It was just really gory, really disturbing, and really disgusting. And that's what horror films a lot of times. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to horrify you. They're trying to creep you out. They're trying to disgust you. It just was not good. Then I watched another M. Night Shyamalan movie called Knock at the Cabin. And a lot of his movies, I'm confused. I don't get it. I like Dave Bautista. The fact that Rupert Grant, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter is in this movie. But, again, it was an hour and 40 minutes with credits, so it's like a 90-something minute movie. But it was very boring, and it made no sense. They took a gay couple who adopted an Asian girl with a cleft palate, and they evolved like the drama with each set of their parents. And then there's all these natural disasters and bad things happening, and they're like, you're the cause of it. And it's really random, and then most of them just kill themselves in the movie. I don't know, which is not very well put together, very confusing, very boring, very stupid, made no sense. And I'm sorry to Dave Bautista, you become a really good actor after your career in the WWE, but this is just not good. Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know, he still makes movies. Then the last movie I watched was The Flash. First things first, there's no need for this movie to be 2 hours and 24 minutes. There was way too much wasted dialogue, way too much silliness, and wasted just scenes that were written that didn't need to be in the movie. It took very long to get to the point, but if you've read every Flash comic book, cartoon, watched them, or even the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie, or seen the CW's Flash, where he tries to change the future many times, it's the same old story. Barry thinks that, I can travel back and forth in time. I'm going to go save my mom. It's going to destroy either the current timeline or he's in a completely different multiverse and stuff. And they bring Michael Keaton back. You've seen the trailers. They have a Supergirl. They, Aquaman and Wonder Woman make cameos in the movie. Michael Shannon is brought back as Zod. Ron Livingston gets to play the father. They have the Hispanic woman playing the mother. I don't really care because the point is Barry wants to save his mother. I don't care. What I don't get is just because Iris West in the CW is a black woman, why is that now canon when Iris is not a black woman from the 1940s through the mid-2000s before they made this TV show, and any of the woman playing her barely brought anything to the scene. She was a wasted filler of scenes. There was no point. Not great in her role. I'm just saying she's not attractive. Like Lois Lane and Iris Allen, I know they're comic book characters and cartoon characters, but when you portray them in live action and you portray these superheroes, you're trying to get good-looking actors and actresses to play them. And it's just, that may be beauty in the eye of the beholder, but again, stupid. And I did like that Ben Affleck got to play his Batman role again, but it took too long between having two Barry Allens. The one that he's like an 18-year-old who just got his power, and the current one who doesn't have his power, going through the whole effort of recruiting people and finding out they don't exist. Then, the flashbacks, so when he's a kid, and then when he goes to the timeline where he fixes it, he's with his parents, and that's all that extra dialogue and things you don't need. So you take that out, you take the whole extra dialogue with the Barry and the other Barry, and you could have just been him, because I don't remember ever being two Barrys in any of the cartoons or comic books or even the TV show. So that was weird. That was a waste of time. It's just cool, for the loan of Michael Keaton getting to be Batman again. Ben Affleck being Batman again. Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman again. Jason Momoa being Aquaman again. And also them showing, stock footage of all the former Supermans and Supergirl and Batman, and stuff, and Flash. That would have been cool if they showed other cyborgs and other Aquamans. But, the cameos and the little brief films and stuff, that was pretty good. I liked it. Michael Keaton was pretty good in the movie, but he's like 70. So, there's not much that this guy can do, to save the world like that. Michael Shannon definitely relished the chance of playing Zod a second time, because Man of Steel was not a great movie. So, again, movie's way too long. A lot of confusing things in the movie that I had to explain to my father. Wasted dialogue with the stupid fake Iris West. Wasted time with the flashbacks and the current day with his parents. A lot of wasted time explaining to Barry about all these things and having two Barrys, which is stupid. Yeah, there's just some things that just were stupid and some things that were bad. So I'm kind of glad that this version of the DC Universe of live action is ending. Once I watch Aquaman 2, I'll be done with it. But Marvel made it the correct decision. They started off with Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. They made a franchise of movies for them, okay? They made at least a couple movies of those three characters before they went out and made an Avengers movie and spawned other characters like Ant-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, you know, Spider-Man. Like, before they did that, they actually built an actual thing. Making Batman vs. Superman based off the, you know, Frank Miller, I think, name's comic book, and having them try to kill each other, and then Gal Gadot appear briefly, and then they have cameos by Aquaman, Cyborg, and Flash. Stupid. Then, they did it correct making a Superman movie. They should have made at least 2 to 3 Superman movies with Henry Cavill. They should have made a few Ben Affleck Batman movies along with the multiple Wonder Woman movies because she's been living for a long time. These movies could have taken place in the past for her. Then you make a present-day movie where the Justice League needs to go and save the day, and you've already made Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Flash movies, at least 1 or 2, and maybe, just maybe, you have Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Cyborg movies, and there have been at least a few at the time before you do this, because, again, it's just horribly designed franchise how they did it, But, yes, it was nice to see certain elements, and I liked it. I would probably may want to go back in a future time and listen to all the dialogue that wasn't needed. I had to fast forward the Barry and Barry dialogue, Barry and his parents, and the flashbacks, and the Iris West conversations. Like, I had to skip those because my father was like, I'm not sitting through a 224-minute movie. But the best movie I watched this week, I'm going to tell you, is A Good Person, because Morgan Freeman really sells a movie, and I could give Zach Braff credit for writing a good movie with good dialogue. And the Lily Tomlin with Jane Fonda and Richard Roundtree recipes, Malcolm McDonald, old person like rom-com, revenge, action, dark comedy movie. Like, those are the best. I wouldn't say these are the 2 of the best movies I've ever watched, but they were pretty good. I'm just going to say, don't ever watch Triangle of Sadness. It's a waste of 2 hours and 27 minutes of your time. Don't watch M. Night Shyamalan, Knock at the Cabin. I don't know if they made the movie before, if it's based off a book, but don't watch it. Don't watch the new Evil Dead Rise. I've never seen the originals, but don't watch it. Don't watch Women Talking unless you want to listen to an hour and 45 minutes feel like 3 hours of just famous people talking. And again, if you're a superhero comic book fanatic like I am, you'll watch every single superhero movie, even if they stink. So I would say it's probably the 3rd best movie because at least it's somewhat interesting. Thanks again for listening to another show of Movie Reviews Observation number 187. From the Red Table Block, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.